Let's look at what advancement is. Of course, by linguistical definition, advancement is simply to move forward. But in spiritual context, there are deeper connotations of the reality. And I just want to touch 5 of them quickly. When we speak about advancement in biblical context, advancement connotes, number 1, movement away from captivity. It speaks of liberation from captivity. If a man is bound, whatever he's doing that looks like a movement is running in a cycle. You truly begin to advance when you break away from captivity. And we saw that in Exodus 14:15. They were departing from Egypt. They had been in captivity for over 400 years. It looked like they were prospering. But Joseph knew that whatever happened in Egypt is still a limitation. So before he died, he told them to swear to him that when they depart, they will carry his bones. Joseph knew it can take hundreds of years. It doesn't matter. Don't let my bones stay here. I can be called a prime minister. I was still in captivity. Until I depart from here to my own heritage, I've not really advanced. So when we speak of advancement, is departure from captivity. So the first layer of advancement that Israel had was when they crossed the Red Sea. Physically, geographically speaking, they left Egypt behind. A man truly begins to advance when the chains are broken. When the tales of captivity no longer include his experience, then he has really understood and experienced advancement. It could be physical, it could be mental, it could be spiritual. But if there's anything that holds you against your will, you have not yet advanced. Advancement begins when we break away from captivity. Now, in order to show you a picture that shows clearly, Psalm 105 verse 17 comes handy. He sent a man before them, even Joseph, who was sold for a servant. The Bible said, next verse, whose feet they hurt with fetters, and he was laid in iron. It said, until the time that his word came, the word of the Lord tried him. So everything he was experiencing, the little messy drop, was really not advancement until those chains are removed. And so the Bible said in verse 20, the king sent and loosed him, even the ruler of the people, and let him go free. Until there is freedom, there's no advancement. So long as captivity remains, you have really not made any real advancement. So the first dimension of advancement is freedom, liberty from captivity. This is why when Jesus came, the first thing he did for us was to break us from captivity. The Bible said in Hebrews 2:14 and 15, for as much then as the children were partakers of flesh and blood, he said himself likewise took part of the same, that through death he might destroy him that had power of death. This is the devil. Next verse, and deliver them who through fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage. A man can be buying a car but still in bondage. Meanwhile, it's a blessing to increase. But if you are still in bondage, you have not advanced. In Colossians 1:12 and 13, it says, giving thanks to the Father, who has made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light, who has delivered us from the dominion of darkness. Even God knows that we have not made progress except as we are first of all delivered. He said in John 8:32 and 36, you shall know the truth shall set you free. And he said, him whom the Son of Man sets free is free indeed. The journey of advancement begins when there is freedom. Spiritual freedom, mental freedom, bodily freedom, circumstantial freedom. So when we speak of advancement, it's not you running around, it's you breaking free. Number 2, when we speak of advancement, what do we refer to? Is promotion. So there is freedom and there is promotion, or what I call breaking into higher ground. When a man is advancing, you will see that progressively his status will be changing, his authority level will be changing, his resources will keep increasing. You know what's going on? He's moving higher and higher. That's why the Bible said in Proverbs 4:18, the path of the just is as a shining light. He shines brighter and brighter unto the perfect day. When God is advancing you, he promotes you, he lifts you up. There's no advancement if you are not breaking into higher ground. Psalm 75 verse 6 and 7, he said, promotion cometh not from the east, the west, the north, or the south. He said, God is the judge of all. He lifted one up and putted one down. When a man is advancing, he's being promoted. You will know because it shows. Authority level changes, status changes, influence level increases. When Jesus was promoted, he showed. The Bible said in Luke 4:14, 15, 15 and 16 and Matthew 4, 15 and 16. He returned in the power of the Spirit and his fame went abroad. You would be wrong to call him a carpenter at that point. He said the land of Zebulun, the land of Naphtali, by the way of the sea, beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentile. The people that sat in darkness have seen a great light. He went up as a carpenter, he returned as a great light. He said they that sat in the region of the shackles of death, a great light has sprung forth. He came with authority and he knew. The same synagogue he was going from a boy, he returned in Luke 4:18. He said the Spirit of the Lord is upon me. He has anointed me. I have been empowered. Authority level has changed. I'm no longer just talking and debating. I was here once upon a time debating with doctors of the law. Now I have been anointed to bring deliverance to the captive, to unstop the deaf, the ear of the deaf, to open the eyes of the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised, and to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord. Levels have changed. So when we speak of advancement, we are talking change in status. We are talking change in rank. We are talking change in authority, change in influence quotient. That's what God is doing for us in this season. Some of you will return to that your office. Now you will talk, your words will be law. The same way you were talking before, but the words will carry different weight. And some of you, physically, you will be promoted on your job. For some of you, same songs you sang that only your family and friends listen to encourage you. You have not added anything to it. In fact, you have uploaded the song already on YouTube. Suddenly, people will start looking for it. And you're wondering, what's going on? Promotion has come. When God began to lift me, messages we uploaded that nobody cared about suddenly started receiving views in millions. I said, but this message has been online for 5 years. It's not where you put the message that matters. It's at what level you are when you put it. That's why those of you who are killing yourself with competition, rest. You don't need to compete with anybody. Just be promoted. Don't kill yourself. You will allow bitterness take root in your heart. Just be promoted. Gain rank. There will be 1,000 apostles, but your voice will be unique. There will be 1,000 prophets. You will have your place. There will be 1,000 people doing the same business, but you have your place because promotion has come. That's advanced. When God causes you to break into higher grounds, the ministry is still in the same location. You are still preaching the same message, but the impact is different. You are talking, demons are shouting and leaving people. You are talking, nations are coming, kings are coming. What's going on? Promotion has come. Number 3, advancement beyond promotion is possessing your inheritance. You know, Joseph was promoted, but he was still in Egypt. So that was not God's perfect plan. So there is a realm beyond promotion. After you are promoted, then you receive your inheritance, because there is an inheritance to take. God can promote you in a strange land, but when he gives you your inheritance, you have your place. And God does not only promote, he gives inheritance. Deuteronomy 2:24, it says, rise ye up, take up thy journey, go beyond the river Arnon. It says, behold, become aware, I have given you Sihon the Amorite, king of Heshbon, and his land. That one is now yours. It says, begin to contend with him and possess the land. Inheritance. And you know the inheritances we have in the New Testament. He was made shame so that you will take glory. So our inheritances are beyond lands. They are things that produce land. He took shame so that you will take glory. He was demoted so that you can be elevated and honored. The reason God stripped himself of the garment of divinity, Philippians 2 from verse 5 to 10, was so that you can come into honor. So your inheritance is glory. Your inheritance is honor. Your inheritance is acceptance. Ephesians 1:3, he was rejected on the cross so that you will be accepted in the beloved. That's why nations can't reject us. Men can't reject us. The Bible said, him that he predestinated, he called. Him that he called, he justified. Him that he justified, he glorified. Romans 8:30, John 17:22, the glory you gave me, I've given them, that they may be one as we are one. I'm a glory carrier. I hope you know glory is not just light shining. Glory is the weight of God, the majesty, the honor of God. The honor of God is on your life. You think Jesus hung on the cross naked for a show? It's so that you will be clothed with majesty. That's why I said, they which receive abundance of grace and of the gift of righteousness, they reign through life. The word is basileus. It means to king through life. We are monarchs. Revelation 1:6 said, he washed us in his blood and made us kings. There's honor on you. That's why when you talk foolishly, angels are shocked. No, the class you belong, they don't talk like that. Where the word of the king is, there's power. You talk power. There's honor on your life. That's why we dress with a knowing. You can't catch me dressed naked. No, sir, I'm dignity. When I see young ladies dressed naked, I say this one they don't know dignity. Have you seen any princess before that the body is exposed? They even wear gloves. That means even before they shake you and you touch their hand, you are somebody. It's your inheritance. You are the righteousness of God. You have a standing in God's courtroom. When you talk, your voice has a signature in heaven. That's why people like us, you don't find me in a bed day struggling. Me too, I want to say something. No, sir. Even in the world, there are people who before they talk in your event, you pay them. They are not talking life. They are not talking righteousness. They are not talking God. But they know they have something to say. And you are hustling to go and say something in a birthday. Relax, sir. Relax. Your voice has signature in heaven. Even if you don't talk in a gathering, if you talk in your closet, it can affect territories. It's your inheritance. And then even material things, they are part of it. The Bible said in Job 22, 23, 24, it said, when you return to the Almighty, you shall be built up. And it said, you shall lay up gold as dust, the gold of Ophir as the stones of the brook. We were not called here to walk in lack. How can you walk in lack carrying the wisdom of God, having access to inspiration, the favor on your life? How could you walk in lack? It's a wonder. It's a wonder for you to be able to walk in lack. He said, whatsoever he doeth, he shall prosper. This is inheritance. So when we say God is giving you your inheritance, it means you are possessing the things of God that has been given to you as a steward. So when I show up, you want to estimate my wealth, check God out. I tell my people here, we spend from glory. Paul said in Philippians 4:19, my God supply all your needs according to his riches in glory in Christ Jesus. We spend from places that never diminish. That's your inheritance. Even if it was not working, when you come, it will start working. There's something on you. Do you know the abundant life is your inheritance? The abundant life. He said, I am come, John 10:10, that you might have life to the full. Anything I touch, work. And this is not me trying to preach bold. I can give you many instances. If I touch it, it will work. I have the abundant life. That's my inheritance. And that's yours. Because Jesus didn't give it to me alone. He gave it to all of us that are born of him. We have entered our inheritance. That's advancement. Imagine what will happen if from today, your business just begins to blossom. Because now you have the consciousness that you carry the abundant life, that nothing dies with you. Imagine if the consciousness that you can't be rejected, you are accepted, is awoken on your inside. Do you know how many doors we open? Doors that before now were shut. They will just open on their own accord. Even you who know how, but you know it should. This is who we are. This is our calling. Don't let anything intimidate you because of your gender, your skin color, or your age. Whether young or old, it doesn't matter. What we are trading with is eternal. Your inheritance. If I touch a business, it prospers. If I touch a man, he prospers. Anything I touch prospers. Life flows out of me. I know. It's my inheritance. When I talk, my words are law. I know. The Bible said this is the honor that God has put upon his son. Isaiah 54:17. I know. It's my inheritance. And I fight to keep it. That's who you are. But you see, God does not stop there. When he gives you your inheritance, then he commands you to begin to enlarge. He commands you to enlarge. Because your inheritances are usually bigger than you when you came in. So God commands you to enlarge. Look at the word God gave to one man, the whole earth. But the moment he put the man in the garden, he said, listen, don't tie yourself to this garden. The garden is the starting point. He said in Genesis 1:28, God blessed them. And God said, be fruitful. God said, multiply. God said, replenish. God said, subdue. God said, have dominion. So when you enter your inheritance, don't rest. Begin to enlarge. Begin to expand. Because the fourth dimension of advancement is enlargement. A little one becomes 1,000. A small one becomes a great nation. Isaiah 54:2, he said, enlarge the place of your tent. Enlarge it. See, deliberately go for bigger things. Grow into it. Grow into it. There is the potential for enlargement in you. You are the one who will limit it. The prophet wanted to help a widow. The first thing he told her is gather many vessels. He said gather not a few. The reason he finished was because you were not ready for enlargement. And you know what happened? The oil stopped flowing when the last vessel got filled. Enlarge. Plan for big things. Plan. Enlarge the place of your tent. Stretch forth the curtains of your habitation. It says spare not. Lengthen thy cause. Strengthen thy stake. When you enlarge, toughen it. Enlarge again. Toughen it. Enlarge. Toughen it. People will look at you and say, all these ambitious people, let them be talking. The command on your head is occupied till I come. Don't bother responding to them. Advancement is enlargement. And then finally, advancement is speed. Any dimension you are in, the faster, the better. If it is freedom from captivity, the faster, the better. If it's promotion, the faster, the better. If it's possessing inheritance, the faster, the better. If it's enlargement, the faster, the better. That's why the crowning jewel of enlargement is speed. when you find of advancement is speed. When you find a man who is advancing, one of the ways to calibrate it is speed. You can't say something is advancing that it does not have acceleration or velocity. No, every advancing thing must have speed associated with it. And so when God is advancing you, you will begin to break natural laws. It took somebody 10 years. Nobody said it will take you 10. Why will it not take you 1? It said in 1 Kings 18:46, and the hand of God came upon Elijah, and he outran. He ran ahead of the chariots of Ahab, even to the gates of Jezreel. Some of you are used to millipede walk, chameleon movement, and you justify the veracity of what you are doing by the slowness. I know the place of process. I honor and respect process, but there's no one that said must be slow to be God. God created the world in 6 days, the whole earth, and you are doing a little thing. You say, be careful. Those of you who want speed, okay? Even science is moving fast. The serpent in the garden is now a dragon. You still want to be like the Adam in the garden. Adam is no longer like the one in the garden. No. The earthly man has become Lord from heaven. The living soul has become a quickening spirit. Catch up. Don't despise process. Don't short circuit process, but know when God is moving you. I told myself, Jesus finished at 33. I don't have the right to be doing what I'm doing now. I'm already late. That's why some of us procrastinate and relax. We think we have time. Meanwhile, your name is not Ancient of Days. Even the one who is called Ancient of Days built the whole world in 6 days. You who is not Ancient of Days, you want to finish one project in 30 years. Be careful not to eisegize instead of exegete, because some of what we call process here is not process. We are just using African experience. We are reading African experience into scripture, because the same God you are serving here that you have to be 50 before you make impact is using people in the United States to make impact at 17. So don't preach African experience and call it gospel. And I'm not undermining process. If God says you need 30 years to prepare, wait for 30 years. But that is your personal dealing. Don't make it a doctrine for the body of Christ, because it can take you 20 years and take another person 6 months. Our program in God's calendar are different.